No one ever said that I couldn't start a weekly vlog on a Wednesday, and so that is what we are doing. I'm going to keep this short and sweet and try not to talk about these books too much, just because I do have a bunch of stuff to get done before we do sprints. But let's talk about what I am going to be reading for Vaultathon this time around. I am going to try my hardest. This is the last round. I'm going to try my hardest to actually get through 4 books. A book for every prompt this time. It has not happened yet. Is the 10th time the charm? We will see. It's not going well right now. It's not going well. So our group book is Raybearer by Jordan Ifueko. This is about Tarsai, and she has been basically sent off by her mother to the court of this young prince. Basically, her mom wants her to become part of the Prince's Council, because if she's part of the Prince's Council, she can kill the prince. There's magic involved. There's a whole bunch of other stuff going on, but I'm about 70 pages in, and the writing in this is so, just the writing and the world building and the characters and everything that is going on in Raybearer, living up to expectations. It is living up to the expectations that people have set for me. I'm just like eating it up. I am enjoying it so much, and I need to read more because I am slightly behind on the reading schedule that I need to do to have this finished by Sunday. Especially since this is not my only physical book that I am currently reading. After Raybearer, we have my other book that I am technically I'm currently working on 3 of these. We have my other physical read that I am currently working on, and that is Nettle Bone by Kingfisher. I don't know that I will talk about this one too much because it is part of another vlog that I am working on, where I'm going to be going into quite a bit more depth. But I am reading it, or it's one of my books for Vaultathon. It covers one of the prompts. Do I remember which prompt it was? No, I do not. This is about Mara, and she ends up going off on a quest to try and save her sister from her husband, who is a very awful, abusive prince. And the quest, the tasks she is given for the quest are just the beginning of like what she has to do to save her sister. This one also has beautiful, gorgeous writing, and the library is going to come for my firstborn if I don't read it and finish it soon. My current audiobook is Aru Shah and the Song of Death by Roshani Chokshi. This is the 2nd book in the Aru Shah series. I am not going to go into what this one is about. It's following up on the adventures of Aru from The End of Time, which is the 1st book, in which Aru finds out that she is the reincarnation of one of the 5 Pandava brothers, only this time around it is Pandava sisters, and she finds that out by accidentally unleashing a evil spirit. It really was an enchanted lamp, and she has to go off and fix what she has done. This is a really good series if you're looking for a middle grade that really makes a good case for why the kids have to be doing the stuff and not the adults. Much better job than, for example, Percy Jackson, which just like, I still love it. I think we may have a love interest thrown in here, and I'm always here for a little good little romance. Right now, it's just at the awkward, they both have a crush on each other stage, and I'm just like, oh yeah, this is beautiful, beautiful watching teenagers just not know how to deal with feelings and the fact that they like someone. I am enjoying it. There's some interesting, we've got some new characters that have been introduced into this because we've got another Pandava sister that has been brought into the fold, and I'm just like, this is like, it's doing some interesting things for the dynamic, but you know, like at the end of the book, it is going to be just like, I'm right here for it. This is definitely one of those things that, like, if you like books with found family, although Aru does, there are developments in Aru's like birth family, but still, if you like found family and you like kids finding, like, you like reading about people finding friends who really get them, this is going to be a great, like, it's a really good series. And then the final one, which is going to be the next audiobook that I pick up, I really hope that my library still has this, because they did a few years ago, but it is Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. I am reading this partly because it's middle grade magic this month, hence some of the middle grade that I am reading, but also because I do eventually, like, I want to finish the series, and I really just will take any excuse to reread Howl's Moving Castle because I adore it so much. I adore it so much. I had to buy a second copy because I have worn out my first copy. It is gorgeous, and it is staying on my shelves, and it's all tattered and beat up, and I love it, and I am not going to damage it any further. And that is the timer for my food. So, boom. The books that I am reading for Vaultathon, I'll see you guys when we do the next update. We'll talk soon. So here we are. we're here. It is now Saturday the 24th, so I should probably change this around, shouldn't I? The 24th, just like so. I haven't finished a single book. This may not be the time that we do all 4 books. I may have to just do another round of Vaultathon. But I did finish Aru Shah and the Song of Death by Roshani Chokshi. I really enjoyed this. This was like I love the way that like I just love Aru as a character and her sense of humor and like how smart she is. Like one of the things that I noticed about this, which is really interesting, this is like if Annabeth had grown up with Sally and been the chosen one that the book's about, because like Aru is so knowledgeable about all of the, like she doesn't know all of the details, but she remembers a lot about the mythology and the stories that they're working from. So she's always the one that's like, oh yeah, this story. And sometimes it takes her a minute to figure it out. But like I really liked that fact that like we start out with her knowing what's going on from book 1. And that just continues in here. I really liked the focus in this one about how stories are told. I think it's more of a focus in this series than it was. Like you had a little bit of that in Percy Jackson, but like it really is a focus in this one where Roshani Chokshi is really talking about like sometimes what we get left with is just the worst moments of someone's life, in mythology, in other things. And so I love it. It got 5 stars. These are just such good books, and I cannot wait for the 3rd and 4th and 5th one. We've got a little cute romance set up. It's adorable, also really funny. And then I am at page 236 in Raybearer. I am far enough along to know that I was right. And it's really funny because I hadn't really thought about the implications of what it would mean if I was right. And I'm sitting here just now, like as the characters are discussing, going, oh yeah, that would mean that's what she's gonna have to do. The way that this story has been structured, every single time I think I know how the story is gonna go, Jordan Ifueko like changes it up on you. Like you think that it's gonna be an entire book of her trying to resist certain things, and then Jordan Ifueko's like, no, here's the way that she thinks she's gonna get out of this thing. And then you think like, okay, well obviously this is gonna come up again, but like we're gonna continue the rest of this book and that's gonna be something that happens in like the climax or something, because there's 2 books. No, Jordan Ifueko's like, nope, halfway through we're just gonna change it up again, and we're gonna change up the goals and completely turn the story on its head again with Tarisai. And so I'm really enjoying it. I love how just wonderful and wholesome all of these characters are. Like, they're complicated characters. They've got baggage. They've got stuff they're dealing with, but at the same time, like, they are just kids trying to do their best. I think this is a good one if, like, you're looking for a YA to adult crossover, because it kind of straddles that really well, but it is still very much firmly in the YA kind of category when you think about the themes and the things that Tarisai is struggling with, and a lot of that, like specifically like kind of that search for identity, the kind of coming of age part of this story, a lot of that is very much like in the YA genre. But I think that like this is something that if you were an adult fantasy reader, because the characters are so nuanced and the world building is so deep, this is one that you would like as well. It is a shorter one also if you're looking for something that's going to be like a quick read, something you can sit down and just devour in a few hours. I am this far to part 4, and I know things are going to get like super hectic, but I wanted to come in and actually update you guys. I've been meaning to do that all day, but then I keep not doing it because I keep being on a sprint. So anyways, you've been updated. I'm going to go continue reading. I'm down to one last shot to my last. I know. Good morning. It's sometime Sunday morning. That I can change at some point. Mild updates. I'm almost done with Raybearer. I've got, I don't know, I'm on 318 and it's only got like 340. So I've got like half an hour's worth of reading left, I guess. But I was tired and the book was not ending last night. So I was like, I need to go to bed. So I went to bed. We are, there's so much going on right now. And I'm just like, so much. So here we are. We're here. I can't tell you about any of like what's going on. You'll have to watch the live show if you want spoilery thoughts. Although I don't think they're going to be able to be too spoilery, because I know at least one host was not able to get their hands on the book in time to be able to read the whole thing. It's a risky run when, you know, you're using library books. And then I have started Howl's Moving Castle, and it goes by really fast because I've only been listening to it for a couple of hours this morning, and I'm already here. I just love how effective Diana Wynne Jones is. Like, just in the first chapter, with how she sets things up in, let's see, in 23 pages, how well she just gets the setting, gets the characters, gets the situation set up and ready to go. She just does such a good job at it. Like, I'm blown away. Every time I read this book, there is something else that I'm like, wow, it's amazing how she did that. Like, just things happen so quickly in this book, but she does it in such a way that you don't feel like you're missing out on anything. Like, you know everything that you need to know about Sophie, about her family, about her situation within 5 pages of the beginning to set up the story and get you moving forward into what's going next. The way that she's able to set up Howl and all of the things that are going on with him, the way that she's able to, like, she drops little Easter eggs everywhere. Like, just a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant way of writing. I love her books. This book. I love this book. I've read this book. This is it. This is the book I have read. And it's just so witty and clever and fun every single time. And it's so nice to see Sophie go from, like, a very mouse-ish kind of soft-spoken, I guess, 20-something-year-old girl to this 60-year-old grandma who's like, yeah, I'm just gonna speak. Who cares? No one cares what I do. I'm just gonna be crotchety and annoy everyone and speak my mind, and I adore it. It's really funny because reading this over again, if you don't know the end and some of the stuff that Howl reveals at the end of the book, then you aren't going to see the subtle signs of stuff that's going on. The man is in denial. He doesn't know what's going on any more than Sophie does until the very end, when they're like, oh, well. It's just, it's fun and it's funny. It is not as, like, soft and sweet as the movie. It's much more, like, boisterous and ridiculous in this particular thing. Like, she just gave someone a spell that, like, people have been stopping by all day trying to get spells, and there are some spells that Howl just kind of has on hand that, because of the way that they're done, they work. Like, there's a spell that somebody asks for to keep the shoes on their horse, and it's just like a powder that she gives them, and Calcifer's like, hey, no, it's just mostly based on belief and what you actually think is going to happen. It's mostly based on belief, and, like, it doesn't, like, the specific spell is not the important part. It's, like, what you believe and is going to happen. And then there's another guy, he comes up, he's like, I want a spell so that I can there's got a fair chance in this duel. And she doesn't give him a spell because there's nothing in the castle, or the house, I guess, technically, that is set up for this, and so she just gives him cayenne pepper and tells him to throw it up in the air and it'll even the odds. Like, it'll make it a fair fight. And I'm just like, oh my god, this poor boy, he's just like, it's gonna be super, it's super funny when you know, like, what's coming next. And then, like, we've just had them an incident with, like, the 7 league boots, and there's something that you see while she's messing around with these boots that comes back later that you'll find out about. This woman could write, I guess, because she's dead now, but she knew how to write a book, and they're very good. They're very good. The illustrations are a bit weird, like, just a bit. Let me see if I can find one. Like, they're just a specific kind of type of illustration. Can you see that? Do you see that? That's just like, that's not terrible. But then you have this, whatever this is the turnip. If you guys have read the books, you know them as the Scarecrow. If you've seen the movie, it's the Scarecrow. In the book, it's a lot more complicated than that. And then this is Howl throwing his hissy fit. Much better in the Studio Ghibli film. Anyways, hi, we're here with an update. I have finished Raybearer. This is getting 4 stars. This was so, like, this delivered on so many fronts. The only place it did not deliver what I was wanting, what I was waiting for, at the level that I wanted was with the romance, because it's not really a main plot, it's more of a B plot, and I think we're going to see more of it in the next book, because we kind of lost the thread of that. Like, it had to go to the wayside because of the way the plot was going. The way that this looks at empire and colonialism and colonization, and it looks at it specifically through a non-white lens. This is not the same sort of, like, it's you can tell it is not based on, like, Western, European kind of, like, there's critiques of that, but it's not based on that. It's definitely more taking a lens through African history, and I loved that. There's so much world building, there's so much stuff that goes down in this last bit. It is amazing that she was able to do all of that in this short a time. All that in this short a time. And do it so well. How? That's my question. How? So many spoilers that we will be discussing possibly tonight. I don't want to, like, get into details, but I just, like, Tarisai's journey throughout this whole thing and the way that it keeps getting flipped on her is phenomenal. I was not surprised by the Redemptor reveal. That was, like, something that you could kind of tell was being built up towards, and I liked that. I liked the fact that it really, the point being made here is that you cannot hold on to power as you expect it, like be the sole source of power and still be just and fair. We've also made some progress in Howl's moving castle. We've gotten to Howl's cold and Howl being ridiculous, and I just, like, he is so absolutely ridiculous, and it is also funny that he's so fussy and vain and foppish and, like, just so obsessed with how he looks and looking good, and then he falls for this very confrontational 60-year-old woman. Like, it is so funny to me. Like, he knows she's under a spell and all of that, but still, he's like, it's just it's adorable. I love it. Like, he has a lot of flaws, but looks being a motivator for him, apparently, when it comes to actually falling for someone, are not one of them. I'm gonna guess, this is my personal headcanon because of stuff that he has said to Sophie, that he just can't seem to fall in love with anyone. I'm gonna guess my boy is a little demisexual. That's my headcanon now. That's where I'm going with it. I just love it. I love that in this case, she is the one that does not care about, like, how she looks for obvious reasons. And it's the man who is absolutely obsessed with his clothes and his hair and all of that. I love it. I love it. We need to see more of it. Groundbreaking. I mean, it's from 1986, but still fantastic. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to chillax, and I'm going to read some of Nettle Bone. I would like to get this finished today, maybe, because there's a high chance that I can finish Howl's Moving Castle today, because I've only got a little bit left. According to, oh, my phone is dying. According to my phone, it is dying. But according to the audiobook, according to Audible, I have an hour and 48 minutes left. And it's a fairly short book, if I can find the time to read it. Based on what I have read, like the 25 pages I have read so far, probably not a great book. 3 hours. It says I need 3.5 hours to read this. Oh boy, it's fine. Do I have 3.5 hours in the rest of my day? No. No, I don't. Hello, my lovely friends. We're here to wrap this vlog up. I'm going to slide down in the chair, aren't I? That's what's going to happen right now. We're here to wrap this vlog up. It is Tuesday the 27th. I didn't get a chance to really wrap up. Did not get a chance to wrap up yesterday because I came home and there was no light in my house. There was no light in the sky because you didn't know there is a hurricane coming. So here we are. We're outside where I have lighting. I'm going to talk to you about what I read during Vaultathon. We're going to start with the book that I did not finish, and that is Nettle Bone by, hold on, there's an airplane. I am sure there's some important reason as to why they're interrupting my video, but here we are. I did not finish Nettle Bone by Kingfisher. I am really enjoying it though. I'm about 140 pages, and I think I just hit page 140 last night. Really glad that I picked it up. And you will hear more about this in its own separate vlog with some other books that I am reading it along with. That I did finish it. And we've moved to the other side of the porch where hopefully that will be less loud if it starts up again. Anyways, I read Aru Shah and the Song of Death by Roshani Chokshi. What time is it? Because I do need to come back from my lunch at some point. This is the second book in the Aru Shah series. There will be a live show if we know the date for this. I will let you know. If we do not, you won't see anything. But this is really fun. I really think that this is a good like continuation of the Aru Shah series. It's funny because I feel like I keep obviously comparing these to Percy Jackson, and I think that this book is stronger than the first book, wherein like with Percy Jackson, a lot of people will say they're all 5-star books for me, keep that in mind, but Sea of Monsters is like the weakest of the 5 in my opinion. Just like it's got some really good stuff in it, but it is still like it's like the last in my ranking. Like I just, yeah. But then this one that just like comes out swinging, and we've added a new character, we've added some extra dynamics. Aru is being driven to her wit's end. I just really like am liking how we're doing this series. It is just really fun, and I'm definitely like, I literally went and Googled, or not Googled, looked up to see if my library had the Ramayana. They do not currently, so I may have to just buy it. After that, we have Raybearer by Jordan Ifueko. I ended up giving this 4 stars. I really, really enjoyed this. I loved Jordan Ifueko's world building. I thought she did really good. Like, there's just so much that happens in like less than 350 pages. This was fantastic, and the way that Jordan Ifueko is able to tackle and build the world and the characters and all of that in this book with the amount of pages, like, just so well done. Very, like, if you like really quick, not quick, but like if you like really concise and effective writing, definitely pick this up. And also definitely pick this up because it's fantastic. I love these characters. I love this world building. We're gonna see how quickly I can get. This is not, it's so funny. I've started so many series this year that I'm like, oh, I need the next book right away. My goal was to finish series that I have started in 2021 or before. And then the final book that I did finish late Sunday night was Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. You have heard me rave about this book. There are videos about this book on my channel. I love it. It's amazing. I should probably do a dedicated review of it now that I've read it. That makes a lot of sense. I just recently read it, so this would be a perfect time for me to like create a review. It's very different from the movie in a lot of places, but it's yeah, it's very different from the movie in a lot of places, but I actually think that it is the stronger story. I love them both equally, but like just sitting down and looking at this from a writing perspective, there's more nuance to this story than we have in the movie. To a lot of aspects, it tackles a lot more things than necessarily are tackled in the movie. Like, I think Miyazaki, knowing his personal politics and stuff and like what he believed, like you can see that in the movie, whereas I think there's a lot clearer messaging in this, and it's got a lot of like different things that it covers, but a lot of what is like a lot of the world building and like the plots and the things that are going on, there is a lot that is cut out of this to make Howl's Moving Castle the movie that it is, and I love it as it is, because it is primarily about Sophie and Sophie's journey, but there is so much that happens in here that is equally as ridiculous as Howl and the Green Slime, because Howl is 100% ridiculous 100% of the time, but there was a lot in here that got cut out that I really would have loved to see in movie format. This will also make a very good musical in my opinion. So that is going to wrap up my final Vaultathon vlog. Thank you so much to everyone who has joined, and thank you so much to everyone who has watched. If you're feeling chatty, I'd like to see what you guys predict is coming next for readathons on my channel now that Vaultathon has kind of been retired, put out to pasture. Now that that's happened, let me know. Also, if you've read Raybearer, let me know your thoughts on that. If you're not feeling chatty, but you still want to let me know that you watched to the end of the video, go ahead and leave me a purple heart emoji, just because, yeah, purple or green. You could do purple or green for Howl's Moving Castle, since that was the last book we talked about. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, there will be videos over here. That is it for now, my friends. I will see you later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things.